Uh, yeah, how y'all doing? Doing pretty good, Coach Arthur and Terry. Hey, just five things. McCarron, I picked him up today. The trade in the second round, comment on Grant and Mayfield, and then looking ahead to tomorrow, six picks.
So
Was
here we
that five?
go.
Or was that four?
Is that everything?
That's everything. That's all I need. We can get to happy hour.
All right.
So we're very excited about Richie Grant. He's a high character, tough, smart, competitive, extremely passionate player. I'm sure you guys have watched some of his tape, and he's just a fun guy to watch. The way he throws his body around, he takes the ball away. So he's versatile, fits the ethos. So he's going to be a fun player. And then obviously it was the value of getting back, getting a player that we wanted, but also picking up a four tomorrow. We're excited to have two picks tomorrow in the top 10 of the round. So it's going to be good picking up that draft pick and then talking about Jalen, big, massive man, athletic, versatile, smart, tough, competitive. Again, another guy that we're excited about what he's going to bring on the offensive line. So really excited about those two players. The quarterback, obviously excited to have AJ here, and we still need to continue to add to that position, but we're excited to have AJ.
All right, thank you.
Jason Butt.
Hey guys, so with the Jalen, do you guys when you evaluated him, is he a tackle to you, or is he a guard? How do you see him moving forward with you guys in terms of your plans?
Yeah, no, he's a versatile player, Jason. I mean, he played tackle at Michigan, but there's a lot of guys that can make that transition. We feel good that he could possibly be a four-position player, but he'll come in there and can compete and can compete inside. So we're excited about the pick.
And then similarly with Richie, he said that he thinks he'll be a free safety, but obviously it seems like he's got ability to play in the box. This one's for Terry. Just when you guys were evaluating him, what are those traits that really stood out that showed that he could contribute? However, in the defense that Arthur and Dean are setting up.
Well, Jason, can I answer this real quick first?
Sure.
Just so you guys understand, like we'll play a very versatile package on defense. And so once Richie gets here, he'll realize that he'll have multiple roles. You're not going to see the traditional. I know it's a transition. We'll have multiple packages. He'll play multiple roles. It's not just going to be a free and box safety. So we'll get Richie. We'll bring him along, and he'll find a role.
And to Dean, to Arthur's point, that's where when Dean talks about safeties, you're not going to hear Dean say a strong safety, box safety, or a back end. Like the safeties have to be versatile. They have to be able to do everything, and that's what we really like about the player, because he can play down in the box. He can pressure. He's a violent tackler. He's physical. He's tough. So he's going to throw his body around in the box, but he can play on the back end and anticipate throws and take the ball away. And also his freshman year, he had 11 special teams tackles. And so he's a guy he's a 4-down player, and he has true versatility, and we love the passion that he plays with.
Tori McElhaney.
Hello. Okay, my first question is for Terry, and it kind of has like a 1A and 1B. So no, it won't be 5 questions long like D-Lab. It'll be 1A, 1B. I was just sitting here and I was thinking about these first 3 picks, and what just stands out to me the most is the theme of versatility. I mean, you literally take a tight end that people call a unicorn for a reason. You take a safety that has tape all over the secondary. You take an offensive lineman who literally told us an hour ago, he's like, put me at any of the 5 spots on the line, I'll go. So I think the questions that I have is like, why are y'all drawn to these type of players in this draft? And then my second part to that is, who in this organization has the eye to see this skill set in these guys?
Well, yeah, and it's kind of like we talked about early on. This is our draft, right? This is our draft. This is our process. And so a lot of people put a lot of work into this. And so from the coaching staff working along with the college scouts and everyone having a voice, that's really important. So as we talk through these players, there's a very clear vision for what we want them to be here, and that is important. We want smart, tough, versatile football players that can do a lot of different things. We're looking for good football players, and you're right. When you look at these three players, they can really check a lot of boxes on and off the field.
And then my second question can be for either one of y'all, because I don't know who would best be able to answer this. But how much did y'all know about Richie Grant already having been around and hung out with Eric Harris over the off season when they were working out? How much did y'all know about the connection that they already made?
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, Eric told Dean about it. So it's and the same thing with Calvin and Pitts. So that was another one as well.
Yeah, Eric sent me a text. I'm sorry, guys.
He didn't realize to silence his phone.
So Eric sent me a text and after the pick and just said how excited he was about it. And he said, "That's my little brother. We train every day." And so that was kind of cool. I personally didn't know until that point. And then Arthur was telling me today how Ridley and Pitts had been training together. So I think that's pretty cool.
Nice. Thanks.
Kelsey Conway.
Hey, my first question's for Coach Smith. With Jalen not having a whole lot of tape from the most recent season because of his injury, what did you see from him in the games that he did play that allowed you to have the confidence that you'd be willing to take a player that you didn't have, a full 3 seasons worth of tape on?
Well, I mean, you just look at his body of work, and luckily, you had enough film in 19, and he's another player. He's young. And, he was out there and like you alluded to, but we felt good. I mean, everybody had different reasons. It's a tough year for a lot of these kids in college football. Some kids, depending on the program, played obviously a lot more games than others. You had kids that told their season was not going to happen, and then it was happening. They came back. So everybody had a different, unique story, and you can't hold that against them. So we felt very comfortable with Jalen's body of work and all the digging that the entire scouting department and coaching staff, everybody that we talked to.
And then
yeah, go ahead.
Sorry. I thought you were finished. And then my second question's for Terry. Terry, what do you think about the edge rushers that are still available and the running backs?
Kelsey, I'm not going to give you our clumps of the players that we're taking. Is that what you want me to do?
Trades. Are there any still good edge rushers and running backs on the board?
There are. There's some good edge rushers, some good runners, and that's really the cool thing about picking. Now we have 2 picks right at the top, so we can really talk about, say, 5 or 6 players and expect 2 or 3 of them to be there when we're picking. So that's the real exciting part about it going into the day, and there's not a lot of, we can anticipate what we expect to be there and really discuss them, but there are some good players at a lot of different positions. We're going to get 2 more good players that really fit us tomorrow.
Michael Rothstein.
Hey, got a couple questions for you. First, for Arthur, you obviously have a bunch of experience on the offensive line. How long can it take for Jalen Mayfield to adjust potentially to the interior, having never played a snap there in college? Like, what's a realistic plan there for him?
I mean, it's hard to give a timeline, Michael. You just never know. I mean, it's a hard enough transition to make as a rookie. The most recent experience with the guy, you just bring them along. Completely different player, but when we drafted Nate Davis, we brought him along. He got injured in training camp. We brought him along. We actually put him in there the first time when we played here in Atlanta, and then he ended up, starting the rest of the season. And it's a tough job to go in there, even if you're just taking him from his college position to where you're going to play him in the pro. Even if you're going to keep him at right tackle, or if you're taking a left tackle, put him at left tackle. No different when we took Lawan. We had Michael Roos. We put Lawan at left guard. They're all different, but they're a plan. I mean, you just can't make a snap judgment off of 1 week in training camp. But the good news is, he played at Michigan. He's played in big games. He's gone against big-time competition. We feel confident. We feel confident in the way he learns. And then we'll see when he gets here and how he works and where he fits from there.
And my second question for Terry, 2 of the 3 guys you've taken, if my math is correct, and it's after midnight, so my math kind of goes down after about 10:30, are 20. How much is age a factor here? Or is it does that factor in at all that these guys are maybe a little bit younger from a development standpoint, or really anything when you're looking at that?
Yeah, Kyle's 20. Yeah. Jalen's actually 21. Just so, but yeah, those guys are young. But I would say it's just about the maturity, because, for instance, Kyle, he's 20 years old, but man, he's about the most grounded, just professional. And I know you guys have gotten a chance to hear him talk and at least seen him communicate a little bit, and you understand what I'm saying. So you can have a player that's 20 with that type of maturity, and you can have a player that's 23 and is the complete opposite. So we spend a lot of time with these players, and it's more exciting to me when a player is young and already we feel good about where they are, and personally, because then there's just a ceiling and you just have so much upside with that player.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Schultz.
Thanks. Yeah, Terry, if you watch the draft on ESPN, it'll show like Mel Kiper's best remaining players. If we just have your list ahead of time that says like Terry Fontenot's best remaining players, it'd be a lot easier to sort of project what you're going to do next.
So how are we doing according to Mel Kiper?
I don't know. I don't watch Mel Kiper. So I'm going to kind of dovetail off this. Toy sort of took one of my questions just on the commonality of the three players, and I'm going to ask it a different ways because I know how much you like that. Could each of you just sort of express specifically what you look for in players? I mean, beyond the measurables of, big, tall, strong, fast, whatever, specifically what you believe makes great football players.
Talking about like in those positions, like
no, just in general as you're building a team. It could be specific positions, sure.
Well, like if you're talking about, say, for instance, a safety, what gets you excited about Richie is if you're a safety, you have to play with some toughness. You want players that are tone setters for your team, not just players that can tackle, but players that strike, and you want physicality, you want instincts, you want to see players take the ball away. And that's instincts and anticipation and ball skills and aggression. And so when you're talking about and you have to be smart right down the middle of the field, you have to be smart. So you're looking for instincts and intelligence, and there are intangibles at that position. It's not just about the height, weight, speed. There are certain intangible qualities that you need, say, at a safety that we see in Richie. And when you're talking about, say, an offensive lineman, you'll hear Arthur say it. That's the tone for your team. So you have to have a toughness and a grit and a competitiveness. You have to have that in an offensive lineman, despite what your traits are. And a tight end, we're talking about our tight end, there has to be a mismatch capability. You have to be able to, Arthur's going to be able to scheme up a lot of stuff for people to be open, but at some point somebody just has to win. And so you need that ability to win matchups. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, Jeff, it's just, obviously they got to fit the minimum job requirement here. If you're an offensive lineman, it's kind of obvious here. You're going to be able to block your guy. So that's the minimum here. But then what you're looking at is how they fit and some of the schemes we will run. And, you're looking at it different where they are in their career and how much development you think they can realistically come in here and improve. And with a guy like Jalen, we feel very confident in the development program we'll have for him. His speed, his quickness off the ball. Can he change directions to keep the guy in front of him in pass protection? Can he get into the line of scrimmage? Can he get in? How much power does he have? Can he displace the defender up front? But and then when you look at the tight ends, again, they come in all shapes and sizes, and it's what you're going to ask him to do. If you're gonna actually realistically break the guy from the core, can he beat man coverage? Because if he can't, that's what you're going to get. The majority, a lot of times on third down, then you're just kind of wishing and hoping. So if you feel confident about that, then yeah, you realistically spread them out. If you're looking for a big blocking tight end, it's pretty similar to a lineman enough where he can at least give you something in the passing game. And then with Richie, if you're going to be a multiple defense, you got to value versatility. It just depends what you're looking for. There's a lot of different schemes that have been successful, but we clearly will value versatility here because we're going to be a team that's going to game plan week to week, and we plan to be multiple, and the same thing offensively. So that's why we value versatility.
That's all I got. Thanks.
Charles Odom.
For Terry, if I could follow up on what you said about AJ McCarron, and you still, have interest in more help at the position. I was interested in the timing of this announcement coming between the first and second rounds, and I'm kind of left to conclude or wonder if things had gone a different way in the first round, maybe you wouldn't have made this announcement today. Is that accurate?
What do you think? I don't know.
You never know, I guess, Charles. So,
to what degree did that signing take away the urgency to
Charles? We don't
make it a high priority.
We don't strategically think of stuff like that. We just do it and announce it. Come on, man. You're giving us way too much credit.
I don't think so.
All right. Anything else? All right. Thanks for joining late night.
Appreciate you guys staying on.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Thank you.
See y'all tomorrow.
See you.
Thank you.